To help each other, it's really important for everyone to band together and not worry about personal property. Just get out, get your loved ones, and leave. Have you ever imagined a star who once graced the prestigious red carpet now struggling desperately in a sea of flames, gasping for one final breath amidst thick, suffocating black smoke and searing heat? Eugene Liu or Mark Hamill might have been fortunate enough to escape the wildfire, leaving behind their opulent mansions reduced to mere ashes, but what about those less fortunate? The frantic footsteps of despair searching for an escape route through the choking darkness, the fragmented cries drowned out by the crackling sound of collapsing trees. Can you hear it? Some tried to make one last call to their loved ones, but all that remained were interrupted, labored breaths fading into silence. Who were they once, beaming with joy on screen, captivating millions with their charm? These individuals inspired countless hearts, yet now cruel fate has cast them into the role of tragic symbols, their stories forever etched in the ashes of sacrifice. Amidst the devastating losses, one name stands out above all: Dallas Curry, the legendary Hollywood actress. This time, however, she is remembered not for her radiant presence on stage, but for the tragic end to her life amidst the ferocious blaze. At 95 years old, Dallas Curry took her last breath in her own home in Altadena, California, as the ruthless Eaton fire consumed not only her life but also the memories and legacy she had built. On January 7th, the infamous Santa Ana winds, fierce and relentless, swept through Southern California, carrying heat and embers that ignited numerous wildfires across the region. Among them, the Eaton fire emerged as a voracious beast, destroying hundreds of homes, claiming lives, and leaving countless hearts shattered. In her modest home in Altadena, Dallas Curry had spent nearly 3 decades of her later years finding peace with her family after a lifetime of brilliance on screen, yet that very home became the site where she faced her cruel fate. Her granddaughter, Dallas Kelly, recounted how Curry refused to leave her house as the fire raged on. "Mama D always believed her home was the safest place," she said. She had survived so many upheavals in life, and that fire could never take her sanctuary away. Kelly tearfully shared that as the Eaton fire spread, she tried repeatedly to contact her grandmother but received no response. "I called her incessantly, I texted, reached out to neighbors, and even prayed she had found refuge somewhere safe," Kelly said, but all efforts were in vain as the roads leading into Altadena were sealed off by flames and smoke. In desperation, Kelly and her family drove around the area searching for any trace of her grandmother. "We went to evacuation centers, calling her name in every room, but no one had seen her or knew where she was," Kelly recalled. The helplessness grew unbearable as the fire intensified, and the Santa Ana winds not only accelerated the blaze but also pushed temperatures to harrowing extremes, rendering firefighting efforts almost futile. The flames didn't just consume homes, they extinguished hope and drained the resilience of those left behind. On January 12, after 5 days of searching, firefighters confirmed they had found Dallas Curry's remains among the ruins of her home. Kelly and her family were escorted to the scene to identify her, a heart-wrenching moment that Kelly described as beyond words. "The house is nothing but ashes now. Everything is gone except for her beloved blue Cadillac," Kelly said, her voice breaking. "What remains is a haunting sight: charred wood fragments, collapsed walls, and the faint shadow of a life once filled with brilliance." The loss of Dallas Curry symbolizes an irreplaceable void created by the wildfire tragedy, but her story is not merely a personal one. It serves as a grim reminder of humanity's fragility against the overwhelming forces of nature, as well as the gaps in our disaster preparedness and emergency response systems. We begged for help, pleaded for faster action, but nothing came quickly enough to save my grandmother, Kelly said, her voice trembling with both anger and grief. This fire wasn't just a natural disaster, it was the result of our lack of preparedness and our failure to respect nature's power. Though she has passed, Dallas Curry's image lives on in the hearts of those who loved her, and her family is planning a special memorial to honor her life and legacy. Mama D wasn't just a Hollywood star, she was the heart and soul of our family, an inspiration to everyone who knew her, Kelly said to the audience. Curry was a symbol of Hollywood's golden era, a woman who overcame countless challenges to become a legend. To her family, she was a gentle grandmother who always put family first and guided them through their darkest times. The passing of Dallas Curry, along with the thousands of homes destroyed and lives uprooted, is a stark warning that we cannot continue to live without better preparation for such disasters. Wildfires are not merely natural phenomena. They are also consequences of climate change and neglectful environmental management. When I look at the ashes of my grandmother's house, I don't just see loss, I see a wake-up call that we must do better to protect what we hold dear, Kelly shared. Dallas Curry lived a life full of meaning and inspiration, and her passing is a profound loss, but it also stands as a reminder that we must do everything in our power to prevent such tragedies from happening again. Not only Dallas Curry, but another unfortunate victim, Rory Callum Sykes, represents a poignant story of resilience and triumph over adversity. Though his life ended in an unforeseen tragedy, a man who battled blindness and cerebral palsy, Rory overcame all odds to live a life of inspiration and meaning. However, on a fateful day, he became a casualty of the catastrophic wildfire in the Palisades area of Southern California, an event that left those who cherished him in shock and heartbreak. Rory, despite having endured countless hardships in life, found himself unable to overcome this formidable challenge brought forth by nature. His mother, Shelley Sykes, recalled the final moments when she pleaded with Rory to move to safety even as the wildfire approached rapidly. Rory chose to remain in his home. "This is where all our family memories are. I can't leave it behind," Rory told his mother before the fiery onslaught consumed the area. These words, though calm, reflected his steadfastness and deep love for the home and the life he had built. As the fire grew more ferocious, Shelley sought help, hurriedly placing her two beloved peacocks in her car and rushing to the nearest fire station. However, upon arrival, the firefighters delivered the devastating news: it was too late, the house had been consumed, and Rory was no more. Shelley could not believe her ears. Her son, who had braved so many hardships throughout his life, was now gone forever. When Shelley returned to the site of their home, she could not believe her eyes. Everything had been reduced to ashes as photos, cherished keepsakes, and familiar belongings, all destroyed by the merciless flames. Everything she and Rory had built over the years was now nothing but rubble. Yet, amidst her profound grief, Shelley found the strength to stand tall. "I will rebuild this house. I'll make it better and more beautiful so that Rory can rest in peace," she declared with determination. Though the loss was irreparable, Shelley did not let hope slip away. She resolved to continue living and to create a special memorial space to honor her son. For her, Rory would always remain alive in her heart and in the hearts of those who loved him. Every step she took, every action she made, would be to celebrate the life of courage and inspiration Rory had lived. Rory Callum Sykes was a man of extraordinary resilience. From a young age, born with significant challenges, blindness and cerebral palsy, his life was a series of grueling battles requiring exceptional patience and fortitude. Despite triumphing over such daunting ailments, his journey ended tragically in an unforeseen natural disaster, a devastating wildfire in Palisades, Southern California. The home where Rory and his mother had lived for many years engulfed their 17-acre property, erasing years of memories in its fiery path. Rory's life story is not just a tale of loss, but a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Though it concluded abruptly and with great sorrow, Rory's life remains a source of inspiration for all who knew him. He not only fought against illnesses but also against life's countless challenges, leaving behind a legacy of unwavering courage. Rory was the founder of Happy Charity, an organization he and his mother established to support those less fortunate. Rory viewed each day as an opportunity to bring positivity to the community, using his influence to make meaningful changes in the lives of many. While Rory's life had been marked by immense struggles, his final chapter was written by an uncontrollable force of nature. The Palisades wildfire struck without mercy, turning his cherished home into ruins. The tragedy serves as a stark reminder of life's unpredictability and the fragile balance between human resolve and nature's might. Luckier than others, there are stars who, despite facing the brink of life and death, ultimately managed to overcome their trials. January 7th was a day Eugene Levy, the renowned star of the hit series Schitt's Creek, would never forget. A raging wildfire erupted in Pacific Palisades, transforming one of Los Angeles's most prestigious neighborhoods into a desolate wasteland. Levy's $3.9 million home was completely consumed by the flames, but thankfully, he and his family narrowly escaped unharmed. Levy recounted that on that fateful morning, he woke up to soft sunlight filtering through the curtains, entirely unaware that just hours later, his life would change forever. I still remember the aroma of morning coffee and the chirping birds in the yard. No one could have imagined that such a devastating disaster would strike so suddenly, Levy shared with the Los Angeles Times. News of the wildfire spread rapidly, and strong Santa Ana winds caused the flames to spread uncontrollably. Levy vividly recalled the moment he received a frantic call from a neighbor, who was shouting, "We have to leave immediately, the fire is getting close." Levy and his family quickly gathered essential belongings, but as they stepped outside, they were met with a sky choked by dense black smoke. The once tranquil, tree-lined streets of Pacific Palisades were now engulfed in chaos. Nothing could have prepared me for that scene. The sky was no longer the sky, it was nothing but smoke and ash. The acrid smell of burning overpowered everything. I couldn't see more than a few meters ahead, Levy described. The family decided to get into their car and leave the area as quickly as possible, but they soon discovered that the congested roads leading out of the neighborhood posed a far greater challenge than they had anticipated. We were stuck in a gridlock that stretched for kilometers. Everyone was panicking, desperately trying to escape the advancing inferno, Levy recounted. The thick smoke obscured visibility to the point where it was impossible to distinguish main roads from exit routes. Cars crept forward inch by inch, and with every passing second, the outdoor temperature continued to rise. Flames were clearly visible on the hillsides, and every gust of wind seemed to draw the fire closer. We had no idea if we would make it out in time. I looked at my wife and kids. They were trying to remain calm, but their eyes were filled with fear. I felt utterly powerless, Levy said. One of the most harrowing moments, according to Levy, was when he saw a car ahead of them stall in the middle of the jam. The driver, overwhelmed by panic, abandoned the vehicle and fled on foot. At that moment, I thought, what if our car breaks down too? We'd have no chance at all, Levy recalled. The flames kept advancing, trees along the roadside ignited, and the intense heat caused the windshield of their car to feel as though it might crack. He feared the worst. I thought this was the end. I had even prepared myself mentally for that possibility, but just as despair threatened to take hold, a glimmer of hope appeared. Police and fire crews arrived on the scene, guiding vehicles to an emergency escape route. Levy expressed his profound relief. I have never felt more grateful than when I saw the flashing lights of the fire engines. When we finally turned onto the escape route, I let out a deep sigh of relief. For the first time in hours, I felt there was a real chance for my family and me to survive, Levy said emotionally. After escaping the danger zone, Levy and his family were evacuated to a temporary shelter. It was there that he received the heartbreaking news that their home had been completely destroyed. We lost everything, every memory, every heirloom, all of it gone, Levy shared in anguish. Despite the immense loss, Levy felt grateful that his family was safe. A house can be rebuilt, but life is the most precious thing. I thank heaven that